How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Monsterarts Gamera figure. So this is the 1995 version, and because this is a web exclusive figure, there is no window to see the figure inside, but you do get a nice illustration of the figure and a nice blue backdrop. And then it's kind of similar on the top, and then the bottom you got some legal stuff, and then whole illustration of the whole figure, and then the side just continues the illustrations. The other side you have a nice illustration of the figure, and then on the back you get some nice illustrations of the figure in various poses and showing what accessories he comes with. And then to open the box you just lift open the top flap, and then you just pull out the figure. And there's the figure. So first you do get some instructions showing what the figure comes with and how to operate the accessories. It looks pretty complicated, but it's actually pretty straightforward and quite simple to follow. And then to open the figure you just lift open the front cover. So there's the first tray. And then the second tray. So there's the figure all together with its accessories. So here's the actual figure, and I'm going to say it now. This figure is awesome. Like, the sculpt is just really good. And then the attention to detail is just really superior. I feel that it really just captures the character from the show really accurately. All the detail you'd expect is present. And for the paintwork itself, I do know that the Monsterarts line has an issue with quality control over its paint, but I feel that for this figure, they've done a really good job. Everything is nice and clean, and I can't really spot any paint defects or errors for the most part. So looking closer at the face, he's got really nice glossy eyes, and they're both looking straight ahead. So it looks really nice, has a really nice glare to it. And then around you have all the wrinkles around the eye, and then you have the kind of scaly skin as well. Looks really nice. And then the whole head sculpt itself is really accurate to the show, I feel. And then looking closer in the mouth, all of it is painted and detailed, so you can see all the teeth are individually painted, as well as the bigger teeth on the side. Has a nice darker wash that fades into a white, and then the tongue itself is all textured and has a glossy finish in there as well. And then it just looks really nice overall. And moving down to his body, you can see all the scales and wrinkles, and then to his claws, has a nice dirty wash over them. And then to his torso, you can see all the shell in there. It's all individually sculpted. Looks really nice. And then the shell itself is really well sculpted. You can see all the layers and the armor pieces, and there's like some dents here and there all over the shell. Just looks really realistic and really nice. And then down to his legs, it's all scaly and wrinkly, and then down to his feet with the claws. Looks really nice, and it's even sculpted for the bottom of his feet as well. And then moving to his tail, again you have all the scales, and it just looks really nice. And as already said, the paint job on this figure is really nice and clean. There's no errors at all in the eyes, and in the mouth itself, there's maybe a little bit of paint bleed from the pink to the white on the teeth, but it's not really that noticeable, so it's really well done overall. Same for the side teeth. And then moving on to his body, you can see that there's this kind of wash all over his body to give him a really dirty look. And then the shell has nice greens and darker shades of greens mixed in. Just looks really nice. And then the claws again have like a dirty wash. And I must say the paint job overall is just really well done for this figure. So for articulation, the neck is on a double ball joint. So one at the torso and one halfway in the neck itself. So he can look down about that much. And then he can look up that much. And then this piece of the shell is kind of on a softer, it's not really a joint, but it's just like a separate piece that can move about freely. So it kind of allows a bit more movement in the head. And then he can look side to side as well as twist as well. And then the jaw is on a hinge. He can open his mouth and close it as well. But due to the sculpt, he can't fully close his mouth. So that's about as much you can get. And then the tongue is on a hinge as well. So you can move that about however you want. And this is probably my only complaint with the figure, is that the joint for the tongue is black rather than pink. So it really just stands out from the mouth. So it makes it look quite odd. So it would have been nice if it was a pink joint, but I'm not too sure why they chose for black, because it really just makes it stand out really awkwardly. But it's not too much of a problem. And then for the shoulder, it's on a ball joint, a double ball joint, so you can move the arm around however you want. And then this piece itself is floating around the joint, so it kind of hides the joint as you pose. And then he's got double jointed elbow as well, so you can move it back and forth, but it's not really too much range. And then because of the shoulder joint, you can swivel as well. And then the wrist is on a ball joint, so you can move it however you want. And that's the same for this arm as well, but because the sculpts are different for each arm, it kind of gets a bit limited in different ways, but they both perform relatively similar. And then there's no joint for the torso itself. So moving on to the hips, it's on a ball joint, so you can move that around however you want, which is really limited, but due to his design, he's not really that mobile anyway. And then he's got double jointed knees, and for some reason this one is really stuck. It can't seem to go straight. It's mainly due to the sculpt. For this leg, it can kind of become straight much more than his left leg. So you can move that about just as much as you want. And then the ankle itself is on a ball joint, so you can really rotate that however you want. And that's the same for this foot as well. And then for the tail, you have about 5 or 6 ball joints all connected to each other. So it allows for a lot of range of motion for his tail. Can go back and forth, and then can go side to side as well as twist. So despite his really bulky design, he still has all the articulation you kind of expect the Monsterarts figure to have, but due to his bulky design, he's not really going to be that mobile anyway. But it is nice that they engineered it in a way that allows for quite a bit of range of motion anyway. That's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. So first, he comes with an interchangeable part for his legs, and this allows him to transform into his flying form. And to do that, you just simply detach the bottom part of his body like so. And then you just attach this piece on like so. And then he also comes with a nice thrusting effect part, which overall looks really nice. So you have the translucent blue that fades into white. And it looks quite nice overall, but I will say this part kind of sticks out just because there's a seam here. And it just kind of breaks the sculpt a bit. I'm not too sure why they designed it in such a way where this piece is separate from the rest, but from this angle it still looks nice. And then these two pegs just plug into the bottom of his legs like so. Like so. And then he also comes with a stand. So this part just rests on the figure like so. And this allows him to stay in his flying form and be displayed. And then this connects to this piece, which is pretty nice effect. It has a nice fiery flame and it's all translucent with yellow and oranges mixed in. And then this piece just attaches to the base and then you just display Gamera on top. And then he also comes with an interchangeable headpiece, which is for his UFO form. And then he also comes with 4 of these effect parts, which replaces all of his limbs so that he can complete his UFO form. And they look really nice. So you have the arm piece that connects to the body, but then you have a translucent piece which fades from white to blue. And it looks really nice overall. Has some detailing for the seams as well. And then he comes with a display piece which displays Gamera in UFO form. And then you just attach the stem to it. And then finally you have the base to display. I will say it would have been cool if this piece was kind of had a hinge so that you can spin Gamera. Like if you attach the stem the other way, then it is free, so you can spin Gamera, but this piece doesn't attach to the base since it doesn't really fit. So it would have been cool if they had a gimmick so that you can display Gamera and spin them around. So my final thoughts are, if you're a huge fan of this particular design of Gamera and the show, then I highly recommend this figure. Just excellent sculpt, good paintwork and a large array of accessories really makes it worth it for the price point. But because he is a web exclusive, he is on the more pricier side, and his price has been slowly increasing since this video. So if you do plan on getting him, then I do recommend getting him sooner than later. But that's my review. Thank you for watching and enjoy some pictures.